Coffey centers it, and he couldn't get it to Lindros. Now McInnes makes the pass. Here's the shot coming from a bad angle by Coffey. That's blocked, and they clear the zone. And the Americans will change. Less than a minute to go now, and the penalty for the United States. McInnes getting it ahead to Lindros. Tocchet will relay it down the boards. Around to the far corner for Gretzky. Bumped by Brown, kept in by McInnes, giving it off to Gretzky. 35 seconds in the penalty. Lindros, Coffey shooting, and Richter, the breadbasket, contains that hard drive. Still 1-0 Team Canada.
Are in favor of Team Canada. The puck does not get out here. It's kept in by McInnes, and in turn, the Gretzky pass leads to this shot by Coffey. Look at Jim Johnson in front. He pulls down Tocchet. Tocchet so strong, yet Jimmy Johnson showing his worth by being strong in front of Mike Richter.
Another face-off is won by Sutter. Back to Smith, but the pass is too far and goes over the line. Now the Americans have it at center ice. Otto will simply play it back to his line to try to kill off the remaining 18 seconds in this penalty as they golf it down the ice here in the Montreal Forum. Larry Murphy forming up one final thrust for Canada on the time remaining in the power play. Smith will drive it in. Sutter over on the near boards, gives it a kick. Tocchet's in behind, trying to make the play. Tocchet is tied up. Suter there. It bounces in front. Back on the ice is Wood. The United States has killed a second Canadian power play. Roenick is cut off by Smith, who's back on the ice. Tocchet now brings it to the blue line for Murphy, and he rolls it to the United States corner. About 2.5 minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 for the Canadians. Johnson and Harachuk bumping along the boards. The Americans bring it back up the ice. Tony Granato. And it's whistled down because behind the play, Koharski spotted a penalty.
Well, Jim Johnson will get the box.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Jim Johnson on sportsmanlike conduct. Well, a tough penalty for him to take.
What happened, Don, was Dale Hawerchuk ended up with Johnson along the boards here. Now watch Hawerchuk's hand. It'll go right into Johnson's face and knock his helmet backwards. And that, I think, is what upset Johnson. Johnson started back up ice and either got at Hawerchuk or got at the referee and got caught. We talked earlier about retaliation penalties. That may be one of them right there.
He wanted a penalty, and I think what he was doing, he was yapping at Koharski, and Don didn't like the tone of his language, so he got 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
It's a very intense game in a high-profile series, but Canada can be explosive on a power play, especially if that power play unit, which generally has Gretzky on it, they're not on the ice now. If they get going, the Americans have got to be just quite simply more composed and stay away from taking those types of penalties.
And apart from the too many men on the ice set, it's 2 men, Smith and Johnson, have had all the penalties tonight.
I just have a feeling that the American club, they've been better in the second half of this period, but just wasn't sharp. The passes weren't clicking. Leach has missed the net, etc. I think they'll settle in as the game progresses, though.
This is just too dangerous a power play for the U.S. to take too many penalties. They can't withstand many of these at the blue line. It's a bad pass. It's called right there.
I also don't think that the Canadian club has been very smooth with a lot of their playmaking. Of the top 23 scorers last season in the National Hockey League, Theo Fleury ranked 8th. But you know, of the top 23 players in scoring, he had the most penalty minutes with 136. And at his size, you just can't, I think, figure out how tough he is until you see him play in a series in quite a few games in a row. You gain a lot of respect for his talents.
And with his size, I guess from an early age, he discovered he had to be tough. That's been a hallmark of his career. There's a long pass to Fleury at the blue line. He'll circle back at center now. 1.5 minutes left, and the penalty to Johnson of the United States. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first period. Here's Al McInnes on the far board, sweeping it around all the way back to the left point. Coffey will contain it. He shoots it down to Robitaille. Now in behind. Robitaille giving it off, rolling puck in front, and it pops over the stick of McInnes back to center. 1.5 minutes left in the period. 1 minute exactly in the power play opportunity. McInnes tries to feed Gretzky. Brown intercepts and shoots it back. The Americans doing a very good job right here in killing this one.
Canada now gets their #1 unit on the ice with Gretzky.
Shanahan's in there and Robitaille. Robitaille Around to number 99. Looks for McInnes back in the point. He'll make the pass to Coffey. Coffey now trying to thread it to Gretzky, but Shanahan has it bounce off Hatcher. Less than a minute to go in the period. 30 seconds in the penalty. Gretzky taking his time, shooting it. That's deflected off the glass. Still alive in the U.S. zone, but picked up and cleared by Joey Mullen.
Actually, no, it's not the number 1 unit. Mike Keenan has really bounced around his power play unit for this game. We don't see Lindros out there for any of the time during this 2 minutes.
Mark Tenorti gets a shift with a pass to Gretzky, trying to feed Robitaille in front. A bouncing puck in the United States zone, still loose in there. Robitaille over in the corner now. The penalty about to expire to Johnson. It has. He steps back on the ice. Here's Murphy, and a slide blocks that. Tenorti can't get it. And on the boards, they battle in the United States zone. 15 seconds left in the first period. Olczyk. Pass for Leach to the left side. Murphy tries to squeeze him off on the boards. Leach in behind. 4 seconds to go in the period. They battle away in the corner, and that is going to do it for first period action here in the Montreal Forum. Canada with the goal by Desjardins leads 1-0. This is the Labatt Canada Cup from Montreal. 1-0 after 1, John Davidson.
I tell you, the American penalty killing was excellent. A full 2 minutes to close out the period. Team Canada that did not get a shot. Of the 13 they had, some were good ones. This one by Tocchet. Mike Richter shows why he's the best. He's the number 1 on Team USA with a fine save.
Canada out shooting the United States in that first period, 13-7, and they've outscored them once off against Roenick. Fleury and Shanahan, his partners out there. Granato and Modano, the wingers for the United States. Fleury shoots from the angle. Shanahan can't catch up to it. Back to McInnes at center ice. Shanahan, the winger on the far boards, tries to win it. Roenick takes a push from Messier. Suter. Past Fleury. Suter at the blue line. Modano on his right. Sweeps it in. Quickly cleared by Canada. Down the ice, the race is on, and the minute it crosses that line, it's automatic icing. A great time saver, I think. And they bring it back for a face-off.
Talking about a couple of things, including that automatic icing with a number of the players, and another number of them like it. It saves a lot of pushing and shoving, etc. And a lot of players would like to bring back the 4-on-4, Don. When 2 players were given a penalty and sit in the penalty box, bring back the 4-on-4, open the ice up a little bit, have some fun out there. A lot of players talked about it. Chelios and Suter, partners in this game. Suter was talking about playing against Wayne Gretzky. He says he never played against him too much unless he was teamed with Neil Sheehy. And Neil Sheehy, since being in Calgary, moved to Hartford and Washington, etc. He's back in Calgary's camp for this season. I would hope that he would like to make that club and get a chance to play against Wayne Gretzky a lot with Los Angeles.
Hartford, Vancouver, and Toronto, the only NHL teams not represented in this final series. 18 of the 21 are. Smith in behind the goal for Gretzky. Long flip ahead to center ice, gloved by Larmer, and it's a long pass they'll bring back for a face-off inside the Team Canada zone. Steve Larmer has certainly been a force here for this team in this Labatt Canada Cup. 3 goals, 4 assists.
He's a left-handed shot that plays the right wing. When that alley-oop pass was attempted by Gretzky, Larmer blew a bubble and then nearly caught the puck. He went through the center ice neutral zone, blew the bubble, and was just offside. Left-handed shot, and you see here, reverse angle. He's well over center ice before the puck got there. Left-handed shot playing the right side. He was put there by Mount Orville. Remember Orville Tessier used to coach in Chicago? It was his idea, and what a good one it was.
And Olczyk will handle the faceoff for the United States against Shane Corson of the Montreal Canadiens. Hull gets a slap shot, but sends it wide. LaFontaine. Gretzky sweeps it across the ice here at center ice to Larmer. Corson goes in, leads him too far with the pass. Richter hands it off to LaFontaine. Eric Desjardins, he has the game's only goal. Up to Larmer. Rink wide off the stick of Corson. Racing with Rolanen, and they whistle that one down and bring it back for an icing face-off in Canada's zone. From Montreal, this is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
For the top brands in hockey equipment,
1-0 hockey game. It came early. The only goal by Desjardins. 4:22 into the first period. A lot of great scoring chances at either end. A lot of fast breaks both teams have sought. But so far, just the one goal on the night. Howardchuk digs it out to Sutter. He's got Tocchet with him as they penetrate the United States zone. Someone's lost a glove out there. Now it is picked up by its owner, Kevin Miller. Sutter in the corner. Canada getting a shot here. Backhand drive. Howardchuk couldn't find the rebound after backhanding it right at Richter. Here's a pass in front. Oh, and it gets through Scott Stevens. Miller now to Janney. The Americans break. Christian is with him. Takes the drop pass and fires, and that is blocked by Ranford, and the rebound is cleared. End-to-end scoring opportunities here early in the second period, almost 2 minutes in. This is Murphy. Eludes the check from Miller. And almost gave it away to Janney. Finds Tocchet at center ice. Howardchuk is with him. Murphy getting a shot. Blocked by Chelios' skate. Howardchuk keeps it alive. Quick shot by Lindros on the ice now. Canada changing on the move as they come to center ice. Chelios carrying for the United States. Makes a nice move, and McInnes knocks him off the puck. Al McInnes will use the boards to clear down the ice. Once again, it'll go into that corner. Not quite across the line, and Courtnall is there. Almost got a chance. Swept around for number 33, Randy Wood, who is leveled right there, and play goes right on. Otto carrying inside the Team Canada line. Eric Lindros making fans every shift here in the Montreal Forum. Otto with a check on him, and Otto takes the worst of that. Big Lindros just stood his ground and could not be moved. He's got Graham out there with him now as they play it back to the corner. Courtnall shooting off the mesh of the short side. Here come the Americans. Tied up, waiting for the pass was Wood. No penalty is called. It's loose in the zone.
Ooh, Russ Courtnall got hit with a puck up off a skate blade, or a skate. As Randy Wood goes at it with Lindros. Linesman Kevin Collins keeps them apart. I think Kevin Collins was the man that got involved and knocked Lindros off balance. Courtnall gets now over to the Canadian bench. Seems to be okay. What a shift for Lindros. Lindros didn't play a whole lot, you know, in the first period. That's like sitting a caged lion. Then you open the door and let the lion out, and he just wants to go out and bang people.
And
Here he moves in on Randy Wood, who, as I said earlier, is strong. Lindros uses a leg drive when he takes the body. Look at the leg drive by Lindros into Joel Otto, and that was Otto throwing the body check. Here you see Lindros moving around one of the players that was picking him in the neutral zone, knocking him down. That may have been Joey Mullen.
He is like a tank going downhill without brakes.
Last night, he didn't like the bed in the hotel where the Canadian club was at, so he slept on the floor.
Firm support.
Absolutely.
16:40 to go in this period.
He just sat there for a while, and you know he's a great big horse, and he just wants to get out and play, so he goes out and he knocks 3 or 4 people over. And he doesn't take penalties doing it. Very seldom does he.
A lot of clean checks usually. Messier brings it back to the American corner. Shanahan almost won it out in front. Now Granato brings it away with a left wing pass to Roenick inside the Canadian Blues. Up there for Shanahan. 1-0 for Team Canada. A game that is much more wide open than that score would support. 14-8, the shots on goal for the Canadians. Fleury stealing it. Gets Wolanin in there. Gets some help from Shanahan. Now Shanahan looks to make his play. Does. Gets it back to Smith. His shot drifts wide. Desjardins from the near side will drive it down off the glass in the back. Messier for Shanahan. Smith goes to the net with Fleury, but the Americans get there first and they clear the zone. Both teams changing as they bring it back up the ice. Desjardins shooting it in. Messier, Fleury, and Desjardins will all go to the bench now. The shot in out in front. Leach is the only man there, and he has it for the United States. Catcher. Down the near boards. Ranford stopping it in behind. Larmer. McInnes defending. Johnson tries to keep it in. Now it is shot back down the ice by Canada. That'll be another icing call. For Abu is the more he sees of his prize prospect, the unhappier he must feel, because Lindros continues to impress as a teenager at this high level of hockey. They'll bring this back for a face-off again on the long pass to Gretzky. It'll happen right to Ranford's right.
One of the things Lindros did last night was spend some time with Wayne Gretzky. He said he talked to Gretzky about hockey for quite some period of time and about people involved in hockey, what kind of people these people were. And what Eric got out of the conversation was that Gretzky's like a book. He knows it all. He knows everybody in the business. Gretzky was the first guy on the ice today for Team Canada when they practiced, 20 minutes ahead of any other player. He still has the passion and love for the game.
All out there with LaFontaine. Olczyk on the draw. It slides to McInnes in the Canadian corner. Now they bring it forward. Here's Coffey rushing inside the line with Larmer and Gretzky. Coffey being checked by Hull. Go bring it around, sweep it in front. Gretzky in the corner has it. Gretzky's wide ankle shot. Richter with a stick redirects that. Coffey taps it back in behind the United States goal. Johnson tying his man up in there. Now Larmer against LaFontaine. Almost got it out to McInnes. It does come to McInnes now. His booming shot. Here's the rebound for Gretzky. Canada. Gives Canada a 2-0 lead.
Now the Canadians had the puck in the American zone, and the Americans played it perfect. They even end up getting control of the puck here, but they give it back. You'll see right over here, the American club get out of trouble. And they just fire the puck blind right up the ice. Right here. LaFontaine with a pass up the middle, and that's trouble. Wayne Gretzky finds Larmer, who's not picked up, and boom. LaFontaine give it away, and then LaFontaine could not control Larmer, and Gretzky read the play. Both goals Canada's had, the American club have had a chance to get the puck out of the zone and didn't get it done.
And they both come fairly early in the period. Here, Gretzky and McInnes draw the assists at 5:20 on Larmer's goal that gives Canada a 2-0 lead. Now the United States may have to take even more chances and open things up further. Remember, they fell behind 5-0 midway in the second period in Hamilton before responding in the round robin. Richter had to be very careful on that shot. Chelios now to Suter in the United States corner. Tocchet forechecking. They clear the zone back to the Canadian blue line. Tocchet takes the pass. Hawerchuk has Sutter with him. Hawerchuk shooting. Richter short side. Good reaction on that. Chelios. Murphy keeping it in. Roll in front. Sutter circling. Tocchet tries to reach it. Mullen a back pass to Miller, and the United States come away at center ice. Suter. Janney's in there along with Miller. Here's the shot. A weak one. Rebound for Mullen, and he is turned away by Sutter in behind the Team Canada goal. Mullen gets a second chance. Suter shooting. He's off target. Batted in front, and a quick hand by Ranford grabs the puck as sticks go high. Stevens and Janney fencing in front. Now Murphy and Miller pirouetting.
Scott Stevens trying to make Janney pay for standing near the net looking for a rebound.
Well, nothing will come of that. 2-0 Team Canada. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Scorer, when you played the majority of your career with Denny Savard, and you play in this series with Wayne Gretzky, when you don't have the puck, go to the net. They'll find a way to get it to you. And that's exactly what Wayne Gretzky did on that particular play. The Modano line, along with Roenick and Granato on the ice now. Don, they've had one shot so far in this game, and that was a shot by Modano. The Messier checking job has been perfect to this point. And Jeremy Roenick's going to have to find a way to get through this checking.
Total shots on goal now favor Canada 19-8. Shanahan smartly brings it out, looks for the lead to Fleury, can't find him. Roenick checking for the Americans at his own blue line. Leach now will shoot it down the ice. They'll be called back on that for icing. 13:23 remaining in the second period. And at the American bench, Jim Taylor, who is sitting in for Bob Johnson, is back at his home in Colorado Springs, recovering from the surgical procedures he has had for a brain tumor. Anxious to hear the results, but can't be very happy so far with a 2-0 U.S. deficit.
Jim Taylor's club has had the flu bug sneak through a number of the players. Modano was unable to practice yesterday because of the bug.
The United States has been outshot 6-1 in this period.
19-8 overall.
Modano and Messier. Messier wins it. Fleury shot. Richter, great save. Rebound. They bang away. Shanahan in front. He can't get a third opportunity. Almost 3-0 right there. Here's Steve Smith now on the left side. Saving it. His shot is deflected off target. Here's Desjardins' wide angle shot. Messier right in front of Richter, and he stopped that as well. Now 22-8 the shots. A flurry right here from Team Canada. Modano flicking it back to the Canadian blue line. Desjardins collects it. Roenick forechecking. Granato with him. Inside the line they go. Now Leach. Leach centers it out. There's nobody home.
Well, Modano tried to get there, and he was checked.
Here's Granato. Fakes it. Shoots it. That's wide. Rebound in front. Comes all the way back to the point. Well, Lannon's shot. That's directed off to the corner. Gulped up on the boards for Messier. Left for Fleury. To the line. Kept in by Leach. Through Granato, and it's deflected wide. Granato, Fleury for Canada now. They come 3-on-2 to the line, and Lannon made a very good stop, holding his ground at center ice. LaFontaine with Olczyk sweeping into the zone. Hull's in front, can't get it to him. The puck's all the way back to Hatcher. Now Hatcher's shot. Ranford stops that. Loose puck, and the Canadians bring it back up the ice with Gretzky, but it's whistled down. A penalty in behind. Now Koharski makes the call. It'll be for holding. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Fleury will get the gate. It's a penalty to Fleury for holding at the 7:57 mark of this period.
Consecutive shifts, 2 straight shifts where the American club hemmed the Canadian club inside, and Fleury pulled down Brett Hull. Roenick's line, and then that last line, working and working and working, but not getting the quality shot. As we mentioned early, Don, you can see where the power play becomes even more important for the Americans. They're not generating quality scoring chances. They're not getting into the slot. They have to do it on the power play if they're to score.
Chelios with Suter on the point. Olczyk along with the centerman LaFontaine. And the dangerous Hull is on the ice on this power play. The United States has been shut out so far tonight by Team Canada, but they get the chance to get on the board right here as it's too far for Suter at center ice. Chelios has to reorganize. Canada with Gretzky, Larmer, the scorer of the second goal, McInnes and Coffey defending. Suter makes the rink-wide pass. LaFontaine collects it. McInnes in the corner watching him. Now here's Hull near boards. Suter left point. Suter across the ice makes the play. Hops over the stick of Olczyk. Suter can't contain it. Down the ice, Gretzky chasing it into the United States zone against Chelios. Finally steps around him, gets it in front. Here's Graham. Graham did not shoot. They'll rag the puck and kill the time instead.
Gretzky's hurting. He got bumped at the other end of the ice. Lost the stick. Throws down a glove, and I don't know what it is, but he is hurting. He was down at the other end of the ice. He avoided a check by Chelios, and then I think was involved with Sutter. He may have had the wind knocked out of him.
It was well behind the play.
Way behind the play. Actually, Gretzky made a great play to find the puck and set up Graham. And then he was banged as the gentleman on the left looks on. That's Walter Gretzky, Wayne's father. Not often does Wayne Gretzky get himself into a position where he can get hit. And not often do you see Gretzky down.
He was shedding equipment as he hobbled halfway to the blue line and then finally collapsed there. And the concerned trainer is working with him now. He seemed to indicate his leg, maybe the above the knee. Let's see what might have happened to him.
He avoids the check here by Chelios by stopping. Now, Chelios misses the most of Gretzky. He goes around and sets it up and then gets crunched face first by Suter. I think Suter knocked the wind out of Wayne Gretzky more than anything else, and that's speculation. Now, Gretzky, as he goes to get the puck, will face the boards and the glass, and Suter moves in. Boom. Oh, baby, did he get nailed. Suter nails Gretzky. Gretzky had his arms up at the same time to try and protect himself as he was banged into the glass and boards from behind.
He's making his way along the back of the Team Canada bench, and the team doctor will check him as he goes down the corridor to the Team Canada locker room.
Pretty much walking on his own, though, and that's a good sign, I think, for all hockey fans.
We will anxiously await the return of number 99. Let us hope it is soon here. Rushing check, as it turned out, in behind the United States goal from Gary Suter. Courtnall getting it past Chelios. Richter will give it off to Leach. Almost 9 minutes played in the second period. 2-0 for the Canadians. Adano off the backboard. Coffey. Leach will keep it alive, working against Courtnall. Now it's swept clear. Shot down the ice. Fleury still has 40 seconds to go on his penalty. The United States power play remains. And they're going to have a face-off to endure in their own zone. The puck was taken down with a high stick, and they will face it off to the right of Richter.
Talk about discipline in games. Chris Chelios under Mike Keenan calmed down, takes a lot fewer penalties, and that's one thing Mike Keenan said he worked at as Keenan was a Blackhawk last season. We'll take another look at the Gretzky injury. In the National Hockey League, the rules are such that you cannot hit when the player is defenseless facing the boards. Gretzky, when he was hit there, and that's kind of borderline, as Gretzky went face first in, but he appeared to be on his side, passing the puck out front when he was hit by Suter. Agree or disagree?
It was really a tough call. He was playing the puck. He was trying to clear it out in front. Suter went for him at the same time.
Reverse angle camera showed it nicely.
Bill Clement is checking on Gretzky's condition. He'll report to his short